20 Steamiest Photos of Big Brother 19's Jessica Graf. One of the longest-running reality shows in history, the first season of the American version of Big Brother began airing all the way back in the year 2000 and continues to this day. A show that focuses on a group of people who live in a home together, compete to last until the end and be crowned the winner. The key to its popularity is casting compelling personalities. Fortunately, over the years they've found a lot of success in this regard with names like Graf, Dan Giesling, Danielle Donato, Evil Dick, and Mike Boogie Malin standing out. Currently, in the midst of its 19th season, we'd argue that there is nobody that is standing out quite as much as the beautiful Jessica Graf. Realizing that is what inspired us to put together this list of the 20 steamiest photos of Big Brother's Jessica Graf. In order for a photo to be up for consideration for inclusion here, the only prerequisite is that Jessica Graf from Big Brother can be seen and looks great. That means that the inclusion of people other than this much discussed reality star will have zero effect on the placement of a photograph on this list. Screen grabs of her from any media appearances are fair game, as she has a history of looking incredible wherever she goes, and we'd be fools to exclude them. So, without any further ado, let's get to the list. 1. Big Brother Photoshoot. A show that has a lot of traditions. One thing fans of America's Big Brother have seen year after year is a photo shoot of each season's cast in their swimwear. A little bit surprising at first blush since it is so revealing, it makes perfect sense once you reflect on it, as that makes it a great source of advertising. On top of that, any viewer of the show will tell you that the castmates spend hours on end wearing their swimwear, so it gives you an idea of what you have to look forward to. One of the images of Jessica from her part in this shoot, we think that this one-piece swimsuit does her body good. The reason that this image beats out other pictures of her in swimwear in our opinion, however, is that her arms positioning means we can see side cleavage, as well as the look at all of her legs. 2. Deep cleavage. Looking as though she is getting ready for a night on the town, one thing is clear in this photo of Jessica: if she entered a room wearing this, there would be few people that could draw attention away from her. We're not sure if she is about to meet up for a dinner date, is looking forward to dancing the night away with friends in a club, or something else, but wherever she is going the temperature is about to rise. Wearing either a top or dress that is black and cut down her chest, we're not sure what force is holding it on her, but it is doing its job handily by keeping her covered while also providing cleavage for days. In fact, all we can say here at the end of the day is wow. 3. Booty. You may have noticed that the vast majority of the pictures on this list show Jessica from the front, and for the most part, we're totally okay with that. After all, she is a ravishing woman, and the view from that vantage point is extraordinary to say the very least. However, you then see a picture of her like this one that is shot from the side but provides a view of her booty, and it makes you wonder why she doesn't show it off more often. At the very least, if she isn't going to give images of it on Instagram, you'd think that her photo shoots would do a better job in this regard. Either way, we're pleased to be able to appreciate her rear end here. 4. Red, white and blue. Big Brother has become an entertainment behemoth with a version of it that airs in many countries around the world. Starting out with a version that aired on Dutch television, since then it debuted original versions in countries like Canada, UK, Africa, Albania, Scandinavia, Germany, and too many more to list here. Of course, for this list, it is the American version of the show that is most important, since it is the one that Jessica is a part of, which makes this image pretty much perfect. Sporting a bikini that is patriotically red, white, and blue, it feels like the right beachwear for someone tapped to represent herself and to a lesser degree her country on the entertainment stage. It is also wonderful for the much more obvious reason that it accentuates her impressive chest. 5. Decorative Scarf. One half of one of the most talked about pairings in recent Big Brother history. Early in July, Jessica and her showman's partner Cody Nixon were voted the most annoying members of this season's cast. As is the case with most reality stars, these two have their haters and defenders, and we totally understand why she is criticized heavily as well as loved. We will say that we think that a good portion of those that enjoy watching her do so because she is such a beautiful woman. Seen here in a picture that she posted on her Instagram account, it is very clear that she knows she is totally rocking it. Wearing a decorative scarf adorned with golden jewelry over her bottoms, she looks amazing overall, but we love the way that draws our attention to her impressive waist. 6. In House Cleavage. The show Big Brother has been enough of a ratings hit for CBS that it has been a mainstay of their programming for almost 2 decades. However, the powers that be at the network seem to be quite smart and have figured out a way to extend the brand further, as well as creating a new revenue source for themselves in the process. Streaming a live stream daily of the goings-on inside the house, it is the ultimate package for obsessed fans that want to see things take place outside of the edit. Still, for those of us with a busier life, the idea of spending the time needed to watch these feeds is a pretty hard sell. If they are looking for a way to sell people on the worth of this service, they could use this image of Jessica's cleavage that was found on a feed, as we think this view is worth the time and money. 7. Wrap Bikini. In the celebrity-obsessed culture that is so prevalent these days, there are a lot of people that would jump in an instant at almost any opportunity to become a star. That is why the house guests go through the trying experience of being taken away from their family and friends and live in a home with strangers, cut off from the outside world entirely. It should be remembered, however, that they are also taking a huge risk, since they have no idea how the public feels about them inside the house and could be coming out to a huge backlash. Someone that has a complicated image so far, this image is a great example of why her smile seems a little bit put on, but that in no way takes away from how incredibly attractive she looks here. 8. Beach time. A photo of Jessica laying on her stomach on a beach. There are some very obvious reasons why this picture was a shoo-in for this list from the moment that we came across it. Still, it could have been found much lower on this list instead, so we're going to paint a mental picture of what we thought of that pushed us to rank it so high. Imagine this: you're looking for something to do on a summer afternoon and somebody suggests you take a trip to a beach. Once there, you opt to take a walk by yourself, and suddenly you come across Jessica at the exact moment this picture is being taken. If you ask us, coming across her in this state is something that might be dangerous to your health, since it could send you into a pleasure coma. 9. Latex. We have to admit the fact that we are no experts in the materials that people use to create items of clothing. As such, in this picture of Jessica, we're guessing she is wearing a latex dress, but if you told us it was something else entirely, as long as it wasn't something silly like wool, we'd totally buy it. Fortunately, we really don't care too much what her clothing was made of and are only concerned with how it looks on her. Appearing to be very tight to her body, it gives the viewer a very good idea of what she is physically working with. If that weren't enough, and it totally is, the dress is also cut in such a way that we get to see a whole lot of her chest and legs, which is something that fans of her looks like us can't get enough of. 10. Lingerie. Earlier on this list, we looked at why we believe that the sports bra was a stroke of genius for whoever it was that first designed them, and now it is time to appreciate the greatness that is lingerie. A type of clothing that is incredibly varied. It can be a myriad of different colors and designs, but all varieties of it have one thing in common: they are meant to be tools of seduction. As a result of that, there are few things that we love a beautiful woman wearing more than lingerie, and that holds true here. A picture of Jessica wearing what appears to be a corset. It is tight to her torso and pushes up her chest expertly. On top of that, we can just barely see what appears to be underwear on her hip in the bottom right corner of this picture, which puts this image even more over the top. 11. Side view. Sometimes people don't think about it, but there is a lot that goes into being a contestant on Big Brother that has nothing to do with their time inside the house. Having to go through an extended casting period, it can take years for them to make the cut, and then they have to make the arrangements to temporarily abandon the life they've built. Once those things are done, they have to also take part in things like interviews and photo shoots for advertising purposes. An example of the latter, here we see a picture of Jessica from the side that CBS took and is far more risque than we'd expect them to embrace. In fact, if you haven't noticed that the side of her chest is visible, then you've probably begun to smile wide now that you see it and understand exactly why this photo made the cut here. 12. Bedtime. The second of the pictures of Jessica with Cody Nixon. This time around they're enjoying their time in the large and luxurious head of household bed. Evidently very comfortable with one another by the time this screen grab was taken, they are at a stage in their relationship where Jessica feels at home laying her body on top of his torso. There is no doubt in our mind that the person that enjoys that more than anyone is Cody, who gets to feel her flesh all over him, but let's ignore him altogether. Instead, this image provides the viewer with the opportunity to imagine themselves in his place, and the idea of being near someone this splendid looking is something anyone attracted to women is likely to dig. 13. Sports bra. One of the most interesting garments out there. Of all modern fashion inventions, we think there are few that are more celebrated than the sports bra. Extremely practical for women that need workout gear which provide the support their chest require, they've given legions of women comfort they could have otherwise been denied. As much as we appreciate that fact, we're not going to pretend we enjoy them for altruistic reasons only. For us, we adore them in this moment when one is being photographed on a woman like Jessica, providing a view of her cleavage that is delectable. Additionally, this picture is improved even more because of the fact that she seems to be enjoying the effect she knows this image will have on those that see it. 14. Barely there bottoms. Another screen grab from Jessica's time in the Big Brother house. This is the first of two images you'll find on this list of her with her TV beau Cody. Sitting poolside together, spending time soaking or sunning are two of the main ways that the house guests waste the day, as it is a good way to pass time. A lovely fact, since it means they spend time in their swimwear. Here we see Jessica from the side in her bikini. The fantastic part is that at first glance it seems like she may not have bottoms on, even though she clearly does when you look closer. Still, just because all of her naughty bits are covered doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the fact that it looks like that could easily not be the case. 15. Belly button ring. Supposedly a VIP concierge prior to her time as a reality TV star, we realize that is a job that is usually given to gorgeous women, but a photo like this one proves that she had other things in mind. Obviously an aspiring model as well. This is yet another picture that shows that had she not used Big Brother as her claim to fame, there was a possibility it could have arrived anyway. Looking fantastic in this picture, it shows that she was capable of taking shots that could have easily been used to advertise any item that people wanted to be sold to adults. Additionally, even if she had no major photography plans, this is a thing of beauty since we get to see her with a belly button ring, which is something we find very seductive on the right person's body. 16. T-shirt. For some people, it may not be evident instantly why we enjoy this picture enough for it to make this list at all, let alone ranking higher than some of the images you've already seen. A screen grab from the Big Brother live feed. The thing that we love about this image is that it seems like she is wearing a t-shirt that is several sizes too big for her. In our mind, that brings thoughts of a woman wearing the clothing of her partner the morning after, which is a view that many of us love to be greeted with. As a result, this image is perfect fodder for fantasies of spending a night with Jessica, and if you are attracted to her body, that is a wonderful thing. 17. Scene Magazine Dream. One of the few photos on this list that features Jessica alongside other people. The fact that there is a pair of other beautiful women here does nothing to dull the attention we're lavishing on her. In fact, if you are anything like us, you immediately realized she wasn't alone, but once you checked her out, it took quite a while to appreciate the looks of her photo accompaniment. Evidently taken at an event for Scene Magazine, it seems clear that Jessica and her cohorts were there to make people pay attention to this publication. An iffy decision, since it took us a while to even realize a magazine had anything to do with this. The only reason this may be a good idea is we'd enjoy any magazine that had images of women as hot as Jessica. 18. White Bikini. A picture of Jessica sporting a white bikini in front of what might be a door. Anyone that was fortunate enough to enter the room she is in wearing that piece of clothing should thank their lucky stars. Posted on her Instagram account, the fact that this image was readily available to the masses prior to her entering the Big Brother house and she didn't go viral blows us away. We say that because it seems like she has a body that was crafted for the purpose of making a bikini like this one look marvelous. Possessing a body that is obviously quite fit but still looks soft to the touch, in our opinion, there are few body types that we find more appealing. 19. Racy Robe. If you're starting to fret at all, we're here to tell you that you don't need to worry. Just because we've listed 2 images of Jessica in a row where barely any of her body is visible doesn't mean that trend will continue, far from it in fact. However, while we continue to look at this image, we should sit back and enjoy what makes this image so incredible. Showing her lying on a bed while wearing a robe, it provides a view of her that in most cases only those that were romantic partners of hers would receive. If that doesn't do it for you, then you may need to work on your ability to imagine. On top of that, her choker looks great, and seeing her run her fingers through her hair makes this feel all the more intimate. 20. Simply stunning. There are a lot of attributes in a woman that those of us that are attracted to females are likely to find lovely to look at. Some of the parts of a lady we have eyes for that will jump out to us early and often include their derriere, legs, chest, midriff, and her entire torso. As a result of that, we're happy to admit that most of the time the pictures that we're likely to find hot will feature a view of one or more of these parts of someone's body. That is why a picture like this one of Jessica that doesn't give a good perspective on any of those had its work cut out for it if it was going to appear here. Fortunately, for this list and all of you, this picture allows its viewers to reflect on how stunning her face is, especially with her makeup entirely on point.